how you've been able to manage conflict in your environment, your strengths as an individual, how you're willing to adapt to change, know your leadership abilities or your ability to work in a team, how you stay organized in the project or in the team and you manage your time effectively, how you approach new technologies or new things that are going to be implemented in your environment. Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'll give you some tips on how to handle some of the questions which hiring managers often ask. You want to watch this video to the end because the skills which you'll get are skills that can help you during your technical interviews with hiring managers. If this is your first time coming across our content, hit the subscribe button and get subscribed right away. Thank you for all the comments which you've been leaving that have been so helpful and they are helping me to improve the content which I produce for you. How do you answer some of the questions which hiring managers ask? I'll just answer some of the questions and give you some of the tips which you can use in some of the questions which hiring managers ask. The very first thing which a hiring manager or even the technical engineer will ask you is to tell you about yourself. And once you're before your hiring manager, you want to specify some of the key technical skills which you have. So you want to say you have experience on AWS cloud, you have experience on Terraform, you have experience on Jenkins for CI/CD, you have experience on Kubernetes for container orchestration and container management, you have experience for Python for scripting and all of that. Most hiring managers equally want to know more about your strengths as an individual. And most of the questions which hiring managers will ask are behavioral questions. So when you're going in for interviews with hiring managers, you want to get yourself ready to answer behavioral questions. For example, a hiring manager can ask you, tell me about your strengths. And if I'm asked a question, tell me about your key strength, maybe I want to mention that my key strength is my ability to learn fast or my ability to rapidly adapt to a changing environment. You want to say that you are not yet good at public speaking and you're looking forward to building your public speaking and communication skill in this role. So that's one of the ways which you can approach what is your strength. You want to tell the recruiter or the hiring manager you have strength in rapidly adapting to change and you're ready to rapidly get into this new role and learn the things which you have, and why not add value to the skills which they are already implementing with your technical or your DevOps experience which you're bringing in the role. Another question which hiring managers always want to know is how you're willing to adapt to change. And when you're faced with such a question, to know how you can handle technical issues or situations that come up, you want to mention the ability to communicate with people. For example, if you're monitoring a particular environment and something comes up which you're not clear with or you don't know anything about, you want to rapidly report that case with other engineers that are working with you on the same project. You want to tell the hiring manager that you're very fast or you're very prompt in leaving responses or you're very fast in communicating or looking into issues that arise in your environment. And that of course will be a key strength which you'll be demonstrating to your hiring manager as far as difficult situations come in, because if you cannot communicate the problem that occurs, you will definitely not be able to solve that problem, or you won't be definitely able to get the help which you might need to address such problem rapidly. Highlight the ability to rapidly communicate issues that arise in your environment as a method to handle difficult or complex situations that arise. Most hiring managers want to know your leadership abilities or your ability to work in a team, and they will definitely want you to give a use case where you've single-handedly handled a particular aspect of a project. You should be able to give them a case or a scenario where you carry out a particular task as part of a team or as leading a team. For example, that in your current role or in your past role, you have been able to lead the team in the implementation maybe of a CI/CD pipeline or the implementation of a containerized application, in the implementation of something. So you just want to demonstrate your leadership ability in your technical interview or in your interview with hiring managers, and you also want to demonstrate your ability to work in a team, because they are always looking out for people who can lead people and people can equally be willing to work with other people in a conducive environment. Make sure you measure one of the things which you've been able to implement or which you've single-handedly led your team in realizing, and you measure or you capitalize on that one thing. Another question which hiring managers want to always ask is how you stay organized in the project or in the team and you manage your time effectively. So they want to know that perhaps if you're coming to the team and you're given a particular task or responsibility, you're going to manage that responsibility well. One of the easiest ways for you to handle such a question is for you to mention how you make use of calendars and how you make use of setting your daily goals or your to-do list. That way you keep track of the activities which you are to carry out, and you equally keep track of the responsibilities which you've been assigned, and perhaps you also keep track of the time which you are to deliver on some deliverables which you were assigned. You want to mention the fact that you have track records, that you keep track of your activities, and that way you remain organized and you're conscious of time and you can deliver some of the responsibilities in a timely manner. Now, another question which hiring managers always want to know is how you approach new technologies or new things that are going to be implemented in your environment. In such case, you want to prioritize your usage of online resources. There are online courses on Udemy, on Coursera, on different learning platforms. You want to tell your recruiter how fast you are to learn new technologies using resources. Should in case you are being asked how you've been able to manage a new responsibility that has never been occurring in the team, you want to make sure you measure on your ability to use documentations, reading online documentations, following online forums, watching documentation videos on particular technologies as your method to learn new technologies. Now, the last question which most hiring managers want to ask is how you've been able to manage conflict in your environment. Conflict is something that is almost inevitable. Working with people always have different ideas or different ways of identifying things, and conflicts can always arise. And in such case, you also want to leverage your expertise on open communication. You want to mention how you've been able to set up open communication, or how you've been able to have conversations with the person which you have difficulty working with. And once your hiring managers know that you can communicate effectively with people, that way they are more convinced that you are able to handle issues that may arise. If you're being asked how you've been able to handle a difficult co-worker or a difficult colleague, you want to mention that you've been leveraging open communication as a means to easily create back a good conducive working environment between you and your co-workers. Well, I hope this video has been able to give you more light on how you can handle hiring managers. I know it's challenging, but handling hiring managers, of course, is getting you one step closer to your job. If you've not yet subscribed to our channel, hit the subscribe button, like the video, share this video with anyone you think can be helpful too. And equally, there is the link to my DevOps community in the channel. You want to join our DevOps with Mike DevOps community, where I share a lot of resources that can help you along your DevOps or your cloud computing journey. And of course, if you want to book a one-on-one mentorship call with me, there's a link in the description for you to book a one-on-one mentorship call, maybe to help you prepare yourself for interviews, to take some demo interviews with you, and to make you ready for your next role. Until then, see you in our next video.